Wow, we have a lot in store for you.
You do?
Yes. I just came back yesterday from the OAC Your Weight Matters convention. And OAC stands for Obesity Action Alliance. And oh my gosh, you guys, I learned so much. They had, Oprah had that fancy special about weight and obesity being a disease, and she said during it that she was trying GLP-1s, and she had all kinds of researchers, doctors, people who've written books on that particular
Kids
special.
That Climb on Rocks?
Kids That Climb on Rocks, yes. Well, they were there at the OAC convention. Oh my goodness, you guys, it was fantastic. And I saw so many of my shipmates there, and we shared so many hugs and stories. And I want to tell you, it was life-changing for me. Absolutely life-changing for me. I discovered at the OAC convention things about myself I didn't know, that I didn't realize, and then I'm gonna work on, and I'm gonna take you all with me. I don't even know where all to start. I have a whole bunch of photos, and each photo has a little story to tell, and they're all new stories pretty much. So it should be really fun for all of my shipmates who have been here since the beginning. And if you are new, my name is Gina. I've been on a Mounjaro journey for 133 weeks. I give myself my shot live every single week on Mondays.
Do you want me to go get your pens?
Yeah, if you could go get my shot, Jeff. I was working mostly because I have props to show you today, as well as pictures, and just so much to tell. Oh gosh, where to start? I can tell you my power word for 2026 is connection. And I want to connect with my viewers. And wow, has this been an amazing year. I connected with a ton of people on the Downsized at Sea cruise this year. We have 2 YouTube channels, Anchor Moments and Anchor Moments RV. And we've been to 2 Peace, Love, and Vans, and connected with shipmates who like to travel and travel in RVs. So connected with a lot of shipmates in Florida and in Colorado for the 2 Peace, Love, and Vans. And then to have the opportunity to go to the OAC convention in Orlando this week was just over the top fabulous. And I learned I still have a lot of healing that I didn't know I needed to have healed still. So I'm going to be sharing a lot of this stuff with you. I will say, when I first got there, they gave us, our special lanyard tag, and then they gave us an opportunity that we could put on these fun ribbons, and the ribbons all said fun things, and you could pick what ribbons you wanted to add to yours. But look at the one on the bottom. I'm connected. You guys, the shows on Anchor Moments are just going to get better and better, because I used my superpower of ultra. No, not invisibility.
Super strength.
Nope, not
flying,
super strength.
Flying.
Not flying. I do have
Can your arms
an
stretch?
ADD. like
on Fantastic Four.
Yeah, like on the Fantastic Four. I did hear that people with ADD and ADHD we have superpowers. Some things we know about. There are some deficits of things that are stumbling blocks and make things a little bit harder. But we also have superpowers. And my superpower is I can make friends anywhere, and I can keep my friends forever. And I'm so blessed that that is my superpower. And sometimes when you have ADD, it's hard to focus and you lose your focus. But sometimes you can be hyper focused. And I was hyper focused a few different times at this convention. And I was able to use that hyper focus to be a superpower. And I made connections with a ton of the people who have been on the Oprah show at some point or another, because they're doing fabulous things, helping those of us who battle the disease of obesity. And they're going to be future guests on my show. So I did use the power of connection, and oh my goodness, and you're just going to love all these people who have dedicated their lives to try to make our lives better. And let's see, let's start showing a few of the slides, Jeff. Oh, good. And you're starting with the thumbnail. I'm so glad Jeff clicked that as the, because I don't know what order he put them in, because he had to put them in all together, because I probably had a couple hundred pictures and I knew it would take forever to upload a couple hundred. So I don't have a couple hundred chosen to show tonight. I tried to do the best of, and Jeff had to figure out what order to put them in and do it quickly. But the thumbnail there, you see Lorraine Durham from The Downsized. And Lorraine, oh my gosh, you guys, she is so kind and wonderful. And she really is one of my sisters from another mister. And the reason I went to the OAC, I could feel in my heart all of 2026, because my friends that I've been on the Downsized at Sea cruise with, and some of them I've slept in their driveway, like at Mayor Mindy's house with our van. Yeah, in the van. They were all excited that the OAC convention was coming to Florida, and they were all going. And they were all like, "Are you going to go, Gina? You should go. It's going to be so much fun." And I just didn't see how I could spend the money on it, because we drive to Florida now once a year in the spring to be able to go to the Peace, Love, and Vans convention and to see my mom, who now only has one house, and the house that she has is in Florida. So to go in the summer when it's hot, I'd need to do a plane ride. And then if you do a plane ride, you got to pay for hotel costs and all that. And I'm just not made of money. I'm not poor, but I'm definitely not wealthy. And I just didn't think I could go. And my heart kept telling me I should go, I should go, I should go, I should go. But my mind kept saying, "Oh, good Lord, Gina, that's a lot of money. You should not go. You should not go. You should not go." And when I was doing the Enough Book Club, which I do on Sundays at noon Arizona time, which is 2:00 Central, 3:00 Eastern, 6 o'clock, no, maybe 8:00 at night in the UK. When I did chapter 1 3 weeks ago, Lorraine Durham was in my chat, and she wrote in the chat, "Gina, Dr. Ania is going to be one of the keynote speakers at the OAC convention, and I'm going to get to interview her. I'm so excited. You need to go to the convention. You need to be there." And I thought, oh man, are you kidding me? I would love to meet her. And so I said, I'm going to call Michelle Frank as soon as I'm done with this live and see how expensive it would be. Well, I called Michelle Frank, and for Jeff and I to go, by the time you got Ubers and paid for the hotel and convention for the two of us, it would have been about $4,000. That's a lot of money, you guys, for a half a week. To be gone for half a week, $4,000.
Only $1,000 a day.
Yeah, about $1,000 a day is what it was going to come out to. And we just don't have that kind of money, especially since our we had a $5,000 bill for main water break that happened in our yard earlier this summer. So that we just didn't have that kind of cash. And when I got off the phone with her, I was really disappointed. And Jeff said, "Oh, Gina, it's going to be your 60th birthday. What if you go and you spend the night with a girlfriend and spend the night and share costs on a hotel room?" Because that's how I've always done conventions in the past. Girl Scout conventions, Origami Owl conventions, Epicure conventions. I always had roommates that I would share the cost of the hotel room. And so I said, well, I'll ask Michelle. So then I called Michelle back and said, who do you know who doesn't have a roommate that wouldn't mind having a roommate to share expenses? And she gave me two names, Kirsten and Jess. And Kirsten was the first person I called. And I've got a picture of Kirsten. Kirsten was so wonderful, you guys. Kirsten said to me, and then here real quick, I was very, very exhausted because I wanted to clean my anchor room that over 3 years' time went from clean and beautiful to just trashy and so cluttered that I couldn't do anything in the room for the last 2 years. No videos, no writing things down, none of that. And so for 2 years, I couldn't use the room. But then I decluttered it and I wanted to get it done before I left. And I did, but I was up till 3 a.m. a few nights in a row getting it all done. And it is all nice and beautiful. Oh, and at the airport, what other funny story? Look at that guy. Have any of you guys seen the videos of the construction worker guy? And he makes really funny faces while people are doing really terrible things that are super unsafe. I think it might be that guy. And so I asked him, hey, and I told him, you look just like this guy on YouTube. And he's heard people say that to him before, and he was willing to do a picture. I just thought that was funny. There's Kirsten. God bless Kirsten. Kirsten is going to be starting a new YouTube channel shortly. We did a video together so I can promote her new YouTube channel. It's not totally up yet. I mean, it's up, but there's no videos on it. So it's kind of a placeholder. And in a couple of weeks, she's going to let me know when she has her first 4 videos done and up. I'm then going to post the video that Kirsten and I did together in her workout room. And she is so awesome, you guys. I am 5'2.5", and she is a lot shorter than me. I think she's 4'9". I don't know. She is teeny tiny. She's lost a ton of weight, and she is super duper spunky. And just a joy to be around. And when I called Kirsten, I was very lucky. I called her first. And Kirsten said, Gina, I have a big house and 3 cats. Are you allergic to cats? And I said, no. And she said, sweetheart, I'll pick you up from the airport so you won't have to get an Uber, and you can stay in my house. And if you want to, for free in the guest room. And I was like, really? And she said, yes. And then she helped me find the cheapest flight available, which was a red-eye flight on Frontier Airlines, leaving after midnight and arriving at 7 a.m, which of course I did not sleep on. But she picked me up at 7:30 in the morning, scooped me up, took her to her house. We laughed and chatted for quite a bit. And then I passed out in the guest room for 3 straight hours before she woke me up so we could go out to dinner and have a little bit of fun. before going to bed that night. And then she gave me a ride to the hotel on Thursday morning. And the convention started on Thursday. Oh, and she also introduced me to David bars. And she gave me 3 David bars so I could have them for breakfast. They're a protein bar. I'm not sponsored by them at this moment. But David, if you wanted me to be one of your, if you wanted to sponsor Anchor Moments, I don't have any sponsors yet because I'm very, very picky. And it would have to be a product that I truly believe in order to do it. But your chocolate chip cookie dough and your peanut butter chocolate chip are delicious. 150 calories, 30 grams of protein. So anyway, Kirsten gave me 3 of those to take with me to convention. So that way I could have breakfast if I overslept. And I thought that was so sweet. I also got to meet at convention, oh my gosh, 2 very famous people. I got to meet King Darium. That's King Darium right there. And he, is hugging Dr. Ania, who wrote the book Enough with Oprah. They are so, so sweet. And go ahead and keep going. Oh, and hopefully, I don't know when the picture is of me and Barb, but when Kirsten said that she'd be willing to pick me up, and worst case scenario, I just stay at her house. Kirsten was only going to be there for a little bit Thursday and Saturday. She wasn't going to be there Friday because it was her daughter's birthday, and she had fun activities to do with her adult daughter. But still, they were going to have mother-daughter birthday day together, and so Kirsten, so I would have had to pay for an Uber back Thursday night, and then an Uber on Friday morning, and an Uber on Friday evening if I'd stayed at her house. But I did stay at her house Wednesday night, and it was fabulous. We swam in her beautiful pool, and we laughed and shared so many stories and had so much fun. But Barb reached out to me and said, Gina, guess what? And this is Barb. She has a YouTube channel called The Metabolic Midwife. She is one of my besties. And the last 2 years that I've come to Orlando in our van, Grace, she has let me sleep in her driveway. And the driveway, actually the first year her driveway, and the second year her friend's driveway while we were in Orlando. So we have been able to play with her a bunch that way, and on 2 downsized at sea cruises. Barb and I are really tight. We chat with each other on the phone and text and stuff, and she is one of my besties. And she reached out and said, Gina, I was going to share a room with Rhonda. I was able to get a OAC scholarship, which gave me free convention ticket and a free hotel room for Thursday night through Saturday night. And Rhonda was going to be my roommate. But when Rhonda heard that you wanted to go so bad for your birthday and was trying to figure out how to pay for it, Rhonda lives in Orlando. And so she, for my birthday, gave me her spot. So I got to stay with Barb Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night in a big, huge, gorgeous room with my buddy Barb. And it was so much fun, you guys. Barb is just, she has a special place in my heart. And so there is the picture of me and Barb. And Barb wanted me to share a special anchor moment. And she shared it today on her live. And it was so sweet because she didn't have to share that anchor moment. I wrote Barb a very special thank you card, and I didn't give it to her until the very last day of the convention. And I thought maybe she'd open it when she got home, but she didn't. She opened it that last day, still alone in the hotel room. And she pulled me, she ran into one of the sessions that I was watching, and she gave me a huge hug and thanked me. But when I was cleaning my anchor room, you guys, I'm telling you, I am a clutter bug. and I had so much clutter in there. And I realized if I truly have ADD, it's causing me issues because I can't, every time I go into that room, I get overwhelmed when I try to clean it. And so I had mentioned it to her and a few friends that I have in a group chat that we do together. And I said, I've got to clean this anchor room because I had promised Kirsten's mom that I would take my Anchor Moments Hope, Healing, and Forgiveness book and I would turn it into an Audible book because she is almost legally blind right now and she can't read anymore. And she would like to hear the story. And so I promised her I would do it, but I have no place to do it. And if my anchor room was clean, I'd be able to do it in my anchor room. So it lit a fire under me for sure that I wanted to get the anchor room cleaned. But every time I went in there, it just was distressing to me. And I just couldn't, I could do 2 or 3 papers and then I would leave. And I'd think, okay, I'll do it tomorrow and or next week or next month. It just wasn't working. And Barb gave me such encouraging words. And she said, Gina, if you can't get that, she said, I am excellent at decluttering and I'm a very clean person and I could help you declutter that room. So if Jeff can't help you, you give me a call and buy my plane ticket and I'll come out and I will clean that room with you and we'll get it all organized and it'll be beautiful and fabulous. So I mentioned that to Jeff because Jeff promised me a year ago when it was my birthday on July 28th of last year. I didn't want a gift. I said, I don't need any more stuff, Jeff. Will you help me clean my anchor room as my birthday present? And he said he would. But throughout the year, when we were home and not traveling, he'd say, Gina, you need to go in there first, throw away anything that's trash, and then whatever's left that you want to keep, I'll help you organize it. Because Jeff's really good at organizing too. But every time I went in there, I could throw away maybe 2 pieces of paper and then I'd get discouraged and overwhelmed and I just couldn't do anymore. So I told Jeff, if we can't get this done by my birthday, which is tomorrow I turn 60, you all. I can't believe it.
Wait, what?
I know, 60. How did I turn 60?
I don't know.
I don't know. Well, today's my last day of 59. You guys are with me in my last hours of being in my 50s. But I told Jeff, if we can't get it cleaned by my birthday, then on July 29th, I'm calling up Barb and we're going to have to figure out the least expensive plane ticket to pay to fly her to our house because I need help. I can't do this. And Jeff said, all right, I'm going to help you, Gina. I'm going to help you. Let's see if we can't get it done before your birthday. So I said, okay. And Jeff had me go in. He tried a new strategy and he put me in the bedroom and our bedroom's clean and the bed was made. And he said, wait here. And then he went into the anchor room and he scooped up in one square foot of area. He scooped up papers that were on the floor there and put it in a bucket and then brought it to the bedroom. And he said, sort this one bucket on the bed. And then he gave me 3 boxes, a box to put things in that to be recycled that I didn't want to keep, a box to put things to give away to people, and a trash can of things to just throw away in the trash. And I could do it. I could do just one bucket. And so I did just one bucket. And then Jeff brought another bucket and he would just scoop up the bucket, put it on the bed, and then he'd go in the living room and watch Star Trek on TV. And so while he was watching Star Trek, I would do one bucket at a time. And we did this for a few hours.
I didn't know which things you wanted to keep. And which
things you didn't.
That was the hard part.
Yeah.
Because I can't,
make those
read
decisions.
Your mind.
Exactly. And so that's how Jeff did it. But he would be the one to go in there and scoop up a random bucket of papers and weird mementos and things and bring it to the bed. And it was amazing. So that first day and evening, he did where the left side of the screen there, was floor that you could see. And he did it all the way to the cabinet. I have 2 IKEA cabinets in there, and he did it all the way to the cabinet. And so I had this clean runway. And the very next day, I could do it by myself, and Jeff didn't have to help me anymore because I could see progress. And then it gave me hope.
Nothing succeeds like success.
Yeah. I mean, it was amazing. And so then I started working till 3 a.m. every night while Jeff watched Star Trek, and then he'd go to sleep earlier. And I just kept going and going and going. And I used my power of hyper focus to try to get done before the convention. And I got done. But a miracle happened. Not only did the room get clean, but a true miracle happened. Because while I was going through the drawers in the second white desk that I have against the wall that has the 2 white chairs, in those drawers, I found where I used to sell my Anchor Moments book, and I had like a little pouch that had $5 bills and $1 bills in it. And then in my closet, I found some old purses, and some purses would have $6 in it, and some purses would have $20 in it. And while I was finding all this cash going, wow, this is great. Chalky would be so impressed that there was actually money in our house, And while I was doing that, I was thinking.
You didn't find any gold bars, did you?
No gold bars, but Jeff and I, when we get money from Costco once a year, they have if you use their Costco charge card,
you
get cash back, and they do it once a year. And when they give you that cash back, they give it to you in $100 bills. And I had $100 bill left. I had $100 bill left. And when I was finding these little bits of money, I was thinking, I wonder if I should surprise Barb and give her $100 bill for motivating us to get this room done, because I wouldn't have been able to do it without that last push where Jeff's like, all right, I'm making sure Gina gets this done because it'd be expensive to fly Barb out. And I did promise Gina I would help her, and the year's almost up. So it put Jeff into hyper focus mode too, to make sure we got this done. But I thought, maybe I should give Barb my last $100 bill from my Costco cash. And I usually use my Costco cash for pay it forward things. And when I was done for random acts of kindness. And so when I was done cleaning my room, and it was pretty much finished, I just had 2 boxes left to go through. I was curious how much money I had, because it looked like a lot, but it was mostly $1 bills. But it looked like a lot of money, and I counted it. It was exactly $100, you guys, to the penny. It wasn't $99, wasn't $98, it wasn't $105. It was $100 even. And then I knew, okay, God is telling me, that is a God wink right there. It is an anchor moment. God is telling me that the $100 I found in the anchor room, I should give that to Barb, because it's found money, and she'll, it could be helpful for her while she's on her health journey. And so I knew that's what I was going to do. And then I started going through the next box. And while I was going through that box, I was thinking, it'd be really cool. My favorite number is 11. And I don't have an additional $11, but I wonder if I'd have enough time to go to the bank before I go on the plane to the OAC. And then maybe I could take $11 out of my checking so I could give her $111. I was trying to decide, and I thought, I don't really have the time for that. I mean, it'd be kind of cool, but I'm so stressed on time because I was spending so many hours working on my room. And I was so exhausted, and I still needed to pack. I just didn't really have time to go to the bank. And then I went through the last bucket. And in the last bucket, I found $11. exactly $11. So I found $111 in my anchor room. And I want to tell you,
The other reason you found it was because you were cleaning and decluttering.
which wouldn't have happened without Barb's help, because I tried so many times and I just couldn't do it. And I knew God was standing next to me and he was giving me a big hug. And he was telling me, Gina, give Barb $111 for me, okay? And, it's found money. And I was like, yeah. And it was found money. It was at least 3 years that because when I took my first Mounjaro shot 133 weeks ago, I used to do my lives in my Anchor Moments room. And I did it for a few months. But I would say during those lives, I had to be very careful the way I pointed the camera because my room was messy and that I was going to clean it. I was going to get around to cleaning it. I needed to get it cleaned, but it was a little messy. And then it got so messy that I couldn't hide it with the camera. And so I stopped taping in my anchor room. That's when we started taping in the living room because it was just too messy. And I kept telling people at some point I'm going to clean that anchor room and then I'll do my videos back there. Well, thank you, Barb. I have my anchor room back. And that means I can write again. And that means I can work on putting my book on Audible and I can get started on that. And hopefully I can change some lives and help people learn how to forgive themselves, forgive others, and how to ask for forgiveness when they screw up. And I can have it as an Audible book too. So I couldn't have done it without Barb. And so I put $111 in that thank you card.
Thanks, Barb.
And just want to thank Barb so much. And she didn't have to tell anybody. It was just going to be a little private thing between the two of us. But it touched her heart so much that she shared it on her show. And she told me, Gina, you need to share it on yours too. And it's going to be something I can write about on my Substack. So I just want to thank you so much, Barb, for doing that shared anchor moment with me and making a difference in my life. Okay, let's see what else we got. So, Dr. Ania, oh my gosh, you guys, she is crazy fabulous. When she got done talking, I was able to bring my Enough book to her. I was like one of the first people in line. I sat in the front row listening to her talk, and I had the book up on my desk like this, and smiled at her, and I kept giving her hearts and stuff like that. And then as soon as she walked off the stage and they said that she'd be able to autograph books, I was first in line to get my book autographed. And while she was writing on it, here's what she wrote. I'm going to make that big. When she was writing in my book, I told her I have an Enough book club, and I done two chapters. Yesterday I did my third chapter, and I said, when I get off the plane, I'm going to be doing chapter 3 or a book club for busy people. So we just do one chapter a week. But I would love to have you as a guest on my Anchor Moment show. And she said, sure, Gina, I'll do it. So yay. And she is going to be doing it in August. So be on a lookout. And she is incredible.
What day do you do your book review?
I do book club on Sundays, but
I knew that. I was setting you up.
Oh, yes. I do my book club on Sundays. I do it noon Arizona time, 2:00 Central, 3:00 Eastern, and 8:00 at night for those of you who live in the UK. And it's just so fun. And one of these Sundays, you'll be seeing a video with Dr. Ania. And if you have special questions you would like me to ask her, you can email me, gina@anchormoments.com, or put it in the comments on any of these Enough, because you can watch them on replay too. So any of the Enough chapter comments. If there's something that you would like me to ask Dr. Ania when I interview her, please do, and I'll try to ask your question. but she was just, oh, she was so special, you guys. So kind, so loving, really, really great. And so be on the lookout at some point in August for that. And let's see, what else do we have picture-wise? And she was just kind to everybody. She hugged everybody. Julio was hilarious. So I met Julio again from Riding the Tide. And Julio has t-shirts, by the way, that are very soft and fabulous, just like our Anchor Moments t-shirts are very soft and fabulous. And he needed, he wanted to have Dr. Ania sign his t-shirt, and he didn't have a Sharpie, and he was looking around, does anybody have a Sharpie? And sure enough, I had a Sharpie in my bag. I couldn't believe it, but I did. And it was a brand new Sharpie that had never been used, and a pretty blue one. And so I gave it to Julio, and Dr. Ania signed it. And Julio is so sweet and special. He is my he's my baby brother from another mother. And he was willing to give me a ride to the airport on Sunday morning. And you guys, that's a big deal, because my flight, I had to leave the hotel by 6:45. And Julio and I, he really is my brother from another mother. We have the same kind of spirit, the same energy levels. We're both extroverts married to wonderful introverts who love us dearly. And we spent a lot of time together at the conference, and he was willing to give me a ride to the airport. So I told Julio that I would buy one of his Riding the Tide t-shirts. I said but he had to make me one special promise. He needed to sign my shirt. So he did. Wait, you see it there? So he signed my shirt. And I wore it on the airplane, and I also told him I would wear it during a live. And so I wore it on my live yesterday, because we went 15 minutes after I got home from the airport. It was time to do our chapter 3 of Enough, and I wore this. And Julio and I have some really neat stories about some special things that happened with us and Dr. Ania. And we did a video together about 15 minutes. It'll be coming out later this week. I need Jeff to help me make a thumbnail for it. Be on the lookout, because there was some extra special things that Julio and I were able to do with Dr. Ania. And that is in a future video coming out this week. Okay, next. I also promised you guys, last week I said, I wonder what they feed you at an obesity conference. Are we just going to be given carrot sticks and rice cakes, or are they going to feed us, good food? And you know what? The food was fabulous. And what I really liked about it, every single meal was done buffet style. So you could pick and choose what you wanted. You can pick and choose how much you wanted. You got to be in control of what you ate. And there were healthy options, and there were desserts too. And that was my breakfast with the cantaloupe. That little round thing was like a little mini kind of, but without a crust on the bottom, kind of like a mini omelet, sort of like an omelet scramble that was round. It was delicious. When I took this picture, I actually had 2 or 3 on my plate, and I ate a couple of them, and then I went, I forgot I was going to tell people I was going to take a picture. And so that's what my breakfast looked like one of the days. Now, this lady, I'm trying to remember her name. It is on the sign. Can show this. Nope. That's not her.
Don't have
this,
oh,
shoot. I'm sorry, you guys. It took me so long to go through my pictures. I was going to try to make a bulleted list so I have everybody's names. But she was fantastic, this lady in the green dress. And I do have another slide where I have her name with her picture. And I'm going to be reaching out to her, because the slides that she created for me, they had, she not only understands what food noise is, she explained to us exactly what hormones and chemicals are happening in your brain when you were having food noise. And she talked about lots of different ways to quiet the food noise in our brain. And what's amazing is chapter 4 in the book Enough is about food noise. So I'm going to be trying really hard to reach out to that wonderful lady in the green dress, to have her be a guest, hopefully on our Anchor Moment show. I'm going to shoot for next week. I don't know if she'll be able to help us next week or not, but I'm hoping next week because it'll go perfect with chapter 4 about food noise. But I learned so much because I've had food noise and it was horrible. And I just didn't understand the science behind it. But she has broken down the science of what food noise is, and ways to quiet it, which includes, tirzepatide, Mounjaro, Ozempic help quiet that food noise. So does obesity surgeries can help quiet it a little bit. And there's some things, other things that you can do as well that can help quiet it if you didn't want to do surgery or take an obesity medication. Do know the OAC convention. Go ahead and go just to my face so I can really say this up close.
Oh, your face.
Mm-hmm. The OAC convention is not a GLP-1 convention. It is for people who battle the disease of obesity. It was a no judgment zone. It was a place that we could share stories, we could share hugs, and we can see options of all kinds of ways that we can get help. There were a lot of psychologists there and psychiatrists kind of people there. There were, and there was, Viking therapeutical, I can't say that word, Viking who manufactures drugs. And pharmaceutical. It's a pharmaceutical company. Viking was there. Novo Nordisk was there. It was interesting. Eli Lilly didn't have a table there, but come to find out, they gave a lot of money as a sponsor because you could see their name on there as sponsor. So they gave a lot of money to help make the cost of this convention be as low as possible. They didn't have a table this year, but there were some people from Eli Lilly that were floating through the audience. And I found out from some friends who had the opportunity to speak to them. And they did it more almost anonymously to kind of see what the buzz is and see what we need. What are we looking for? What are some things that they can work on coming down the pipeline, as they try to create newer and better drugs to help us. So anyway, they were there with their dollars, and they were there kind of anonymously in the audience, but they didn't have a table. But there were a lot of different sponsors that were there, even some that weren't pharmaceutical companies. And it really made a difference. All that food that we ate, you guys, the cost of the conference was $200, but they fed us a lot of meals. You couldn't go out to eat at Denny's or something at a regular restaurant and pay $200 all said and done. It really was, the value was fantastic, but it was because they had so many sponsors sponsor the event. And I'm glad that they passed the savings on to us. That was really nice. Okay, next picture is very exciting. I love Dr. Ania. She was incredible. And she was one of my first speakers that made a huge difference for me. Robin Pashby, her talk was so moving, and it opened my eyes and let me know that I'm not over the trauma of decades of obesity and the trauma given to me by me, as well as other places. but mostly by me. And one of the questions she asked when she was on the stage, one of the first things she talked about was her talk last year. And her talk last year is on YouTube, and it's fantastic. My friend, Mayor Mindy, sent it to me twice, once last year and then again this year. And I'm so glad she did, because I didn't see her talk last year. To be honest, before the convention, I didn't know who she was. And then Mayor Mindy was so excited. She was going to be a speaker and stuff. And I'm like, who's Dr. Pashby? And she's like, Gina, don't you remember last year I sent you the video of her with the backpack? And I'm like, backpack? You know, I don't know. And then Mindy sent it to me. And then I watched the first few minutes of it. And I went, oh, yeah, I remember that. I did watch that last year. And it was wonderful, that talk. And then it reminded me of what she looked like and some of the things she said. And last year when she spoke at convention, she talked about the weight, the emotional weight that people who battle obesity carry, and that physicians need to be aware of what we're going through emotionally when we carry that much weight. Well, this year she came up to the stage and she said, I don't know, I hope you remember last year I came up with a backpack and talked about the trauma that people carry who battle obesity. It wasn't enough. What I didn't do was tell you how to stop carrying that trauma, to stop continuing to blame yourself. And then she gave us examples. And one of the examples she gave us, she said, raise your hand if you don't go to the swimming pool or to a beach because you're afraid to be seen in public in a swimsuit. And a lot of people raised their hands. Now, I felt that way. But in 2015, after I hadn't gone swimming for a couple of years and I love swimming, I broke that one myself, because that is my favorite way to exercise, because it doesn't feel like exercise. It's a fun activity that helps my muscles and helps my heart and my blood vessels. And I love it. I love it, love it, love it. It's just total joy for me. And so in 2015, when I was trying to lose 40 pounds before I turned 50, I decided I was going to wear my swimsuit in public and go back to doing water aerobics again. But I still had a problem with the next thing she asked. She said, is there anybody here who never wears shorts and never wears sleeveless shirts? And I had to raise my hand. I have in my anchor room, I took out every sleeveless shirt. And I used to have a lot of really pretty from Chico's, really nice sleeveless tanks and shells and shirts. And I put them in my anchor room closet so that one day when I lose weight again, maybe I would wear them. You guys, I live in Arizona. This weekend, it was 115 degrees. That's not an exaggeration. It was 115 degrees. And I've lived here since 1988. And I don't even remember when I wore shorts last. I don't know, 25 years ago, maybe 30 years ago. It's been a long time since I've worn shorts. And I used to wear sleeveless tanks, really pretty ones. I'd get on sale at Chico's, and I stopped. And it's been probably 10 years maybe since I've worn those sleeveless shirts. I would wear them if I put a jacket over it, and then I'd have a pretty shell, and some of them are silky and some of them are whatever and very pretty. And if I wore a jacket, a blazer jacket with it, I would wear it. But I would never, ever show my arms other than when swimming to anyone. I always have them covered. And when I swim, I want to get out of the pool as fast as I can and put a cover up on and cover my arms. And then she asked some other questions, and I failed some of those too. And she said, what we need to be working on is our mindset and stop blaming ourselves. And she had some tips that she gave us for that. And they were powerful. When she was done talking, she gave people an opportunity to stand at a microphone and ask a question if we wanted to ask her a question. And all of the speakers did that. And I got up for one of them, probably the lady with the food noise. But there was so many people in line, I didn't get a turn at the mic. And then the only other time I stood in line was after Robin's. And I want to tell you, I walked to that microphone so fast. My heart was on fire. And I think I was maybe the second person to say something at the mic. And I told Dr. Robin Pashby that she was my 60th birthday present. I wasn't supposed to come to this conference, but I had a pull in my heart that was so strong. I could feel God telling me I must come. And the reason I was supposed to be there is I needed to hear her talk. And I told her that when I was doing week 2, which was just a few days prior, of chapter 2 of Enough, I looked into the camera and I told my shipmates, how do you do it where it's just me?
Should I get out of the way?
I looked into my camera and I said, I want all my shipmates to know you are enough. And you were enough before you lost weight. Being overweight is not a moral failing. Obesity is a disease. And you are a good, wonderful person at your heaviest weight as much as you are now. You are and have always been enough. And somebody came onto my channel for the very first time when I said that during the live. And she typed in the comments, I just randomly found your live as you told us we are enough. And it made me cry. And I feel like God wanted me to hear that. And I told her, yeah, that's an anchor moment. Anchor moments are moments in your life that you feel God's loving presence. And I totally believe God wanted you to find me when I said that. Because God loves you and He knows you are enough. And He wanted you to hear that. And I turned around and I looked at the audience and I said, with tears streaming down my face, and I am a liar. I have been lying to myself. I thought I was enough, but evidently I don't believe it, because I have not worn sleeveless shirts or shorts in decades. And I live in Phoenix where it's 115 degrees.
Here, put on a jacket.
Yeah. And then I told her, God sent me here so I can stop lying to myself. And I can start healing. And so I know what I'm supposed to work on next. I'm going to be 60. That's enough. That's enough shame and blame. That's enough. I'm done. It's time to be kind to myself, just as kind to myself as I am to others. And it's time for me to take my shipmates with me. Now, my book club, my weight loss book club, we don't do diet books. Not a one, because diets don't work. I've done diets. Sure, I could do the carnivore diet. Sure, I could lose weight for a few months on it until I'm sick of eating steak. And then I have my first piece of cake or a piece of toast, and then all the weight I lost is going to come back on. And then I'm going to put on extra weight, because that's what happens to me when I diet. So even though people have offered, and some people are having success, if you're having success with carnivore, you go girl, you go guy, you do it. If it's working for you, that's great. But I know myself enough. I know myself to know that diets don't work for me. They don't. And I'm not going to ever sponsor a product to make money that I don't believe in. And I'm not going to read a diet book that's a true diet. I'm not going to. I'm done. I'm done with dieting. So the books we've read, enough. Learn about the biology. Food intelligence. Learn about why we live in a
obesogenic.
What did she call it? Obesogenic environment.
Sorry.
Okay. Food intelligence. Salt, sugar, fat. Salt, sugar, fat. Very, very important. I don't know. I tried the easy way to quit emotional eating. There were some good takeaways, but it wasn't enough for me. I'm sorry. But it was really great. It stopped people from smoking. And it's excellent because you don't need cigarettes, but you need to eat. And so it was still a little too hard. I didn't quite get that.
You know why it wasn't enough?
Why wasn't it enough?
Because that's enough.
Yeah. So enough for now is when we're done, we're still going to do one chapter a week because we are a weight loss book club for busy people. But enough is going to be enough for me on weight loss books for a while. What I'm going to be doing instead, and anyone who wants some things that are weight loss, you know what? All of these books, you can watch on replay one chapter at a time, and they're fantastic. And I'm so glad I read them, and I'm so glad I did them, and they were wonderful, 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 wonderful. But it's time for me to go to stage 2. I know to eat protein. Protein's important. I know fiber's important. Eating fruits and vegetables are important, and drinking enough water is important. I got it. I got the memo. Try to eat less processed food. Got it. Got it. Now's time to heal, to stop blaming ourselves, to heal those scabs and sores inside our heart. My mission has always been with this channel, even before I had type 2 diabetes. I wanted to feed your body, mind, and spirit. And I had some fun videos like making my cabbage vegetable soup. Not as all you eat is cabbage and vegetable soup morning till night, but as one meal or as a side dish with a sandwich, you know? So I had some healthy recipe things because I hate cooking. And these were recipes of things that are really healthy that I do cook. And when I cook, my family eats them and thinks they're delicious. My roasted pear butternut squash soup is to die for. So fabulous and low calorie. It's amazing. So I have playlists like that, but I need to do more on mindset And what do you know? God introduced me to somebody else too, who's really fabulous. So I've got Dr. Ania, fabulous. And she's going to be a guest on my show in August. I talked to Robin, Dr. Robin Pashby. Hopefully I'm saying her last name correctly. And she is going to be a guest on my show in September. And she's willing to do live Q&A. So I'm super excited to have her. And she's going to reach out to me. She's busy in August, but in September she'll be on my show. And then I met a third famous person that was fabulous and that spoke. And she has a book, and Oprah interviewed her on Oprah's show because Oprah believes in this woman and what she can do for others in helping treat our hearts who have suffered battling obesity. And I won a free book. I couldn't believe it. But you know what? It was a sign. It was another anchor moment of God telling me, this is your next direction. God really wanted me to be at the OAC because I'm not done yet. And there's still more things I can do to help my shipmates. So that book, the book we're going to do after enough. So you guys have some time because next week we're only on chapter 4 of enough. So you have a little bit of time, but you need to find the book When Life Happens by Rachel L. Goldman, PhD. And I'll have Jeff put this on our Amazon channel, Jeff. I need you to put this so it'll be easy for people to find it. And do know, let's see, how do I do the banner of it? Can you find the banner of it where I put our Amazon shop? All of the books that we've done, I have an Amazon playlist of all the things that are our favorites. I will tell you, if you go there and purchase it, you'll be paying the same price as if you went on Amazon by yourself. But Amazon does give me a teeny little bit of a kickback as a thank you for bringing people to Amazon. So if you get it there, that would be so great. But the book is When Life Happens by Rachel L. Goldman, PhD. The mindset shift you need to manage stress, build confidence, and break free. And the foreword, I think the foreword in here was by people from the Oprah Daily Show. And like I say, she was on Oprah. And one of the things she talks about is something that has worked for Jeff, and that is CBT. What does that stand for?
Cognitive behavioral therapy.
Mm-hmm. And she talks about cognitive behavioral therapy. And Jeff has battled depression really bad before he met me. So bad he wasn't sure if he wanted to keep living. And who first recommended you read that book, Jeff?
Counselor I knew.
At seminary?
Mm-hmm.
Jeff was almost a Catholic priest too. And that book saved his life. And
Feeling Good.
Yep, the Feeling Good book by
Dr. David Burns.
Dr. David Burns. And he even has a new book where it's because he wrote that one 40 years ago?
In the 80s.
Or in the 80s. But he's done an updated version too that Jeff also owns. But just fantastic. Absolutely fantastic, especially for people who battle depression too, cognitive behavioral therapy. And she talks about that a little bit, I'm sure, in this book, because she talked about that a little bit when she gave her presentation and with some of the slides. And so I knew this would be just perfect. So not only did Robin, the other speaker, help me see into my soul that there was something wrong and that needed fixing. And she's willing to be a guest on our show. And then God, made it even better and let me know what book we're going to read next and gave me that tool. And so this is going to be the next book that we're going to read. And I'm going to be working on making a second edition of Anchor Moments, Hope, Healing, and Forgiveness as well. And it's going to be an Audible book at some point. And my book, just a quick little plug of mine. The print is big. It's not very thick. And I have a lot of pictures. And most of what happened in this book happened in about 6 weeks' time. And it changed my life forever. And I would not have an Anchor Moment show or YouTube channel. And I wouldn't know you if I didn't look for signs and experience the amazing things I experienced 6 weeks in a row when I needed help forgiving somebody. And I learned how to forgive myself, how to forgive others, and how to ask for forgiveness. And it was very powerful. And each thing that happened was so amazing. The reason there's pictures in the book is I wanted proof. I wanted to bring receipts of all those signs and those things that happen. So anyway, and you can also, if you go to anchormoments.com, you can find how to buy the book there. It's also on my Amazon playlist in the book list. It's with all the other books too. All right, let's see what else I have for you guys. Those were some of the biggest things. So where were we? Can you put that back up on the stage? Okay, so Dr. Robin Pastry says she's going to be a guest too. And there she is. And everybody, there wasn't, I don't know if there was a dry eye in the house between Robin talking and me making everybody cry again at the microphone as well. It was something. And this lady, oh my gosh, she was amazing. Her name is Nikki. She is the board chair of the OAC. And I think January 1st, she steps down and another lady is going to be the next board chair. But she was so spunky and fabulous. It was neat meeting her.
Were you on a spaceship?
I know. It looks like a spaceship, doesn't it?
Yeah. That's the hotel?
That's the hotel. It was a beautiful hotel. Okay, you guys. So listening to Dr. Robin Pashby, I'm just going to call her Dr. Robin so I don't screw up her last name, but Dr. Robin, when she made me cry and realize that I'm still shaming and blaming myself, or I would wear no sleeves when I'm hot. And this sweater that I'm wearing has a shell without sleeves. And I was worried about bringing it to convention because I thought, what if I get hot? Because if I get hot, I don't want to take off the jacket because then, it would bare my arms, and I never bare my arms. Ooh, ick, And that night, I danced on the dance floor with my sweater on, and I got hot, and I took my sweater off. And the chair that I'm sitting on there is in a room that they called the content creator room. And they had lots of different ways that if you had a YouTube channel or a TikTok channel, or you do Facebook Reels or Instagram, that you had a place that was quiet and had fun props that you could use and create videos. And right there, the OAC also did videos of any guest that would be willing to share their story.
Oops.
And and it's Darium did some sharing, and Darium, King Darium, God bless him. I didn't have Jeff with me to take care of me, and Jeff does. He really does a great job taking care of me and being my camera guy and making sure I don't leave my water bottle and just all kinds of things he does to help organize me. And King Darium knew about that room and I didn't. If it wasn't for him, I would have never made it into that room. But he brought me in, he showed me around and what there was, and he was my cameraman sometimes. And he even did a fun, quick video, a Mythbuster. So you'll see him do that with me in the YouTube shorts. I did a bunch of fun shorts where we were busting weight myths. And this sweet lady, her name is Gianna, and Gianna is Italian, just like Gina, just like me. And she's very young, very beautiful. and she works for the OAC. And she was not going to be on camera. She was just going to be behind the camera. But I did a really cool, about a 6-minute video with her. King Darian was the cameraman. And I tell you what, in the very beginning, she kind of talked about how she got her job. And I was still kind of surprised. And then I asked her an important question. And wow, her answer is going to move your heart big time.
So you have it on video.
I have it on video.
Don't give it away.
I'm not going to give it away,
Okay.
but you're going to want to watch it. Now, like I say, it's just a few seconds short of 6 minutes, and I'll have Jeff put that video up later this week. It should be up later this week, but she was fantastic. Lunch was also good. This was tortilla soup. And you didn't have to put the tortilla chips on if you didn't want to. It was kind of like a really cool homemade tomato bisque. And they had like a taco salad, but you'd put all the individual things on by yourself. And I went over and I took the chips because I know what tortilla soup is because I live in Arizona. And I sprinkled a little bit of chips on top. Oh my gosh, you guys, it was so good. It was a very homemade soup and it was fabulous. This lady, okay, so Friday night was a costume party. You were to anything ocean themed, or you could wear a beachy outfit. So I wore my beach sweater. But this lady, her costume was the ocean. And we got to vote for who we wanted to win first place. And it was hard because there was some great costumes. Oh my gosh, fabulous. But I chose her as the winner, even though she didn't win. She was the ocean. And the reason I chose her is because her costume was interactive. She had ocean music playing, so you could hear the sounds of the ocean as she came up to you. But she had blue body glitter. And she went to every person in the room and gave them the opportunity, if they wanted to have some ocean glitter on them, that she would do it. And so she put some ocean glitter on my cheeks, and she put ocean glitter on Lorraine Durham's arms. And she was just so fun and so kind. So I thought, since she did such a good job welcoming everybody and making everybody feel included in her costume, she was my first place pick, even though she didn't win first place. And look, there I am. There's both of my arms hanging out. That is Dr. Ania from Enough in the middle. And we danced and danced and danced with her on the dance floor. Had so much fun. And it felt so freeing to not wear my sweater, to be able to take the sweater part off and just wear my pretty shell while dancing. And next to her is Valerie, I think Scruggs is her last name. Oh my gosh. Valerie was so much fun to talk to. I got a chance to get to know her, and she's one of our shipmates who watched the show, and it was so nice to see her. This is just part of the room, but you can see there was a lot of people at this convention, and that is maybe half of the room, and then the others, there's, so just double that is how many people were there. And this is where we were sitting down and eating dinner and just having a blast. And then they started playing music on the dance floor. And there's my brother from another mother, Julio, and had so much fun with Julio. Oh my goodness. So much fun. This was a big surprise. This was an anchor moment meeting Stephen. Stephen is a TikToker. He also has a YouTube channel, but he says he doesn't have very many videos on it. But when I went up to the microphone after Dr. Robin's talk, and I shared how God brought me to that conference as my that convention as my 60th birthday present. Stephen was in the audience, and he went, "Uh-oh, I know that voice. Who is that? I know that person." And when I turned around and looked at the audience, he recognized me. And later that evening, there was like an after party. There was an after party every night. And I tell you what, I was there to the last minute. I was like almost the last person to leave of the after parties. And they went
You know who would have
to like,
hated that?
oh, you would have hated that. You would have been in the room by yourself. So I knew I really needed to take advantage. So I'd be out until 1 or 2 in the morning, until the last person would leave. And then I would go up to my room. And when I was sitting down at the bar, and they had like a little bar area, and you know what was so nice about this hotel? They had a big tub, a big container of ice water with a little thing that you could flip up, and then they had glasses so you could serve yourself ice water, so you didn't have to buy alcohol or feel like you're annoying the bartender because all you want is a glass of ice water. You could get the ice water yourself. And so I just drank ice water. And I was drinking ice water in the back of the room, chatting with my friends. And Stephen came down and he sat across from me and he looked at me so kindly. And he said, Gina, I know you don't know me, but in 2024 in the UK, there was not very many people doing YouTube channels about Mounjaro. And I was a teacher and I was starting Mounjaro, and none of my friends were doing Mounjaro. I didn't know anybody who was doing Mounjaro. And when I was trying to do some research and I wasn't finding very much, I stumbled across your channel and I loved it. And it helped me to not feel alone. And I loved watching your husband. It was so funny when he'd just bust through the door, and sometimes he'd have costumes on and you never knew what he was going to say or do. And he was so funny. And it brought me joy to watch your show and to learn things. And he said, and you need to know, I've lost a lot of weight. He's lost over 200 pounds.
Wow.
And he started in April of 2024. And I tell you what, he's got to be in maintenance now because the man doesn't have any more fat. He's just perfect. He has to be at his ideal weight because he just looks just perfect. And he said he was very lucky. He's one of those super responders, and the weight really has kind of melted off him. And he said he watched my show for a long time, and then he started doing TikTok. And so he started, watching more TikTok creators. But he was so excited to see me at this convention because he wanted me to know he was so grateful that he found me in the very beginning when he felt alone. And he said now he pays it forward. And he says there's like 7 or 8 teachers at his school that are on a Mounjaro journey too. And he says he shares with them some of the same kind of things that I shared with him on my channel. And oh gosh, I just hugged the stuffing out of him. He was so sweet. So sweet. It just meant the world to me. Because if you've been a part of my show for any length of time, every few videos I let you know, I do every video for the power of one. It's worth the time if at least one person doesn't feel alone on their journey. And at least one person smiles, or at least one person goes, oh yeah, I've been taking Miralax, but I don't drink very much water. No wonder the Miralax doesn't work. Gina says you can take all the Miralax you want, but if you don't drink water, you won't poop because Miralax works with the water in your body. So you got to be sure you drink plenty of water. Anything, if one person has taken anything from any video, that video was worth the time to make because of the power of one. And do I hope more than one person sees it and gets help? Absolutely. I hope a ton of people do. But if at least one person does, it's worth my time. So thank you, Stephen. You really made my day. I thought that was just the best. And then this is one of the slides about the voices behind food noise from that lady who was, I don't know, she's a research scientist. I wasn't quite sure if she was a dietitian, what all she was, but she was fabulous, and she wore a real pretty green dress. And somewhere in here, I have a slide that has her name on it with her picture, and I will be looking for her.
It might not be in this slideshow.
Yeah, it might not be in this slideshow because like I said, I had hundreds of pictures and I had to try to condense it. Oh, this gentleman, this is Ted Kyle, and he asked if he could sit next to me in the front row. And I was saving that seat for Barb, and I looked over at Jess and Jen, and Jess said, Gina, I got a space next to me. Barb could sit in the second row next to me. And so I said, okay. So I let that guy sit in the front row, which I'm glad because Barb wasn't feeling well and ended up sleeping. So she missed it. But I had no idea who Ted Kyle was. And wow, he's kind of a famous guy in the obesity community, or in the community of people who battle obesity. And he has a newsletter that he writes. And not only does he know people, not only does he know a lot of people, every famous speaker on the stage knew Ted and looked over at Ted, including Dr. Ania. I actually turned to him and I said, is she your daughter? And he said, no, but we're friends. And he was friends with he knew everybody in the obesity space, that of people who help people who are battling obesity. He knows just about everybody, and his newsletter is fantastic. So we shared emails, and he's willing to be a guest on my show as well. And I now subscribe to his newsletter, and I'll be sharing more about that when I have him on the show. But he's wonderful, absolutely wonderful. And then he ended up being one of the speakers on the last day. I was like, oh my gosh, there he is. So pretty neat. And there we go. And there is the author, Dr. Rachel Goldman. Go ahead. And in that room, the media room, they had all these fun props. And one of them was busting weight myths. So I have a whole bunch of fun shorts where I would pull a friend and say, pick the myth you want to bust and bust it for me. And we would bust them in 16 seconds or less. So check that out. A lot of fun. I maybe some of the myths that we didn't bust on the short, I might be putting up as a YouTube post on the post section of my YouTube channel. And you guys can give some answers and you can bust those myths because there's so many ways to bust it. It'll be fun to see what you come up with. And this is a picture that the OAC took and shared on the last night of Traveling T, who busted a myth with me, and her mom, Diana. I met Diana on both of the Downsize at Sea cruises, and I thought it was T's sister or just a friend, that she's really close to. I had no idea that was her mom. Her mom looks so young, and she's so spunky and precious too. And they captured that picture and showed it the last night when they were showing lots of pictures. So I thought that was fun. And oh my goodness, you guys, Jess and Jen. Jen is in the middle, and Jen was the second person I was going to call. If Kirsten couldn't help me, I was going to call Jen. And Jen told me she would have been willing to be my roommate too. And she's just so special and so wonderful, and I just love her. And Jess in the gorgeous dress, gorgeous reddish pink dress and jacket, Jess was so helpful for me. She took good care of me. She surprised me with a big bag of jackfruit chips that are just dried jackfruit that I've been talking about on my show that I found at Costco, and I just love.
You didn't bring those with you?
I just brought an open bag that had a little bit because my suitcase was full. I just did a carry-on suitcase.
She brought you.
And she gave me a big,
Wow.
the big $10 bag, the big, huge bag she gave to me. And she gave it to me on the first day because she said, I thought you might get hungry and I knew you wouldn't have enough space in your suitcase. So I wanted you to be able to have that.
How sweet.
Yeah. And she just did a lot of special things to help me out. And she's won a big place in my heart. So thank you so much, Jess. Everyone was just so fantastic. I'm telling you. Oh my gosh. And Saturday, Twan came from Traces of Twan's Life, and TT Trucker was there, and they gave me big hugs. And oh my gosh, they were so fun, and it was neat being able to take pictures with them. And next to TT Trucker, he's the only guy in that photo, standing in the center. To the left of him is Nancy. And Nancy Germain, and she's been a shipmate on our show for the longest time. And she spent a lot of time with us. And then we got Barb, the metabolic midwife, there in her cute little piece dress. And oh my gosh, you guys, Twan is a trip. She is so fun. And she did a super fun live while she was there. So you want to catch her live on replay, and just a hoot and holler good time. It was so much fun hugging all these people. Now, I wasn't going to share this picture.
You told me
no. The very first day I at the hotel, I went swimming, and I put my swimsuit on. And before I left to go swimming, Barb said, "You are so cute in that suit, Gina. Can I take your picture?" And I said, "Oh, Barb, in my swimsuit." Because remember, I haven't listened to Robin's talk yet, Dr. Robin's talk yet. And, my arms would be showing. And I said, "Oh, I don't know." And she's, "Oh, Gina, you are so cute. Let me take your picture." So she took my picture and she sent it to me. And I'm sharing it today. And when I look at it, I still thought my arms looked like they looked 50 pounds ago. And yeah, they're not skinny arms, but they're not that bad. They've got some muscle in there too. And it's okay. My arms don't have to look perfect. I'm going to be 60 tomorrow, y'all. 60. It's okay. Those arms, I'm grateful for them because they're strong. And they let me give lots of hugs. I must have given 1,000 hugs in the last 5 days. And so they're good arms for that. And I'm blessed to have them.
And you're a good arm wrestler. Never mind.
All right, next photo. What else we got? Oh, and some of my besties here. Mayor Mindy, Michelle Frank, who I needed to call Michelle so she could look up plane prices and how much is it to go to that convention. And she was the one who found me who would be willing to be my roommate and gave me phone numbers. So thank you, Michelle. And thank you, Mayor Mindy, for putting in my heart back in January that I needed to go to this OAC conference. It was going to be so fun. And, and my new buddy on the left there, Valerie, just thanks all of you. It was so much fun. And then here's a fun picture. We got Lorraine from the Downsize. We've got Dr. Ania in the pink jacket. And we have, and Lynn helped me so much. She's on the far right in the striped shirt, the black and white striped shirt. I lost my pink water bottle, my brand new pink water bottle that had 3 stickers on it. My Anchor Moment stickers and my Downsized at Sea stickers. And it was a pink insulated, fabulous water bottle. And I lost it on the first day. And I was just so sad because I thought, how am I going to get enough water? Because I got to drink a lot of water to make my Miralax work, And Lynn said, "You know what, Gina? I have water bottles in my room that are filled with pH balanced water or whatever. Would you like some? I'll just give you some." And I said, "Could I have 2?" And she said, "Yes." And so then I would just kept refilling them and putting them in my mini fridge in the room. And it helped. And it was just so nice. She was so kind. She didn't have to do that. but she did, to take care of me. Everybody was just so sweet. A fun crew there. And then on the far right is Rhonda, and she has a new YouTube channel, Joyfully Ever After. And Rhonda was going to be in Barb's room and was going to be Barb's +1. And I thanked Rhonda and gave her a free copy of my book that I autographed for her, to thank her for stepping down and having to drive 20 to 30 minutes home every night, so that way I could have that room with Barb. Thank you so much, Rhonda. That was a great birthday present.
Thank you, Rhonda.
And that's another one with Rhonda and Mayor Mindy and Michelle. And I got a new, right before I left, on the day that I was leaving, a new name tag that has Anchor Moments, speaker and author. And I'm going to be working on some short speeches that I can stand and deliver. And I'm hoping to be a speaker at some conventions in the future.
Short speeches?
They'll be pre-written out. I won't read it, but I'll know all the bulleted points, and they'll be short, just like I did when I did Toastmasters. There's a time clock, and if you've got 5 to 7 minutes, you got 5 to 7 minutes. If you've got 20 minutes, you've got 20 minutes. And each speaker on the stage, they did have their speech down low on a computer screen that we couldn't see, but they could see, that was really big, and it had a timer. And I know it did, because some of them would say, okay, restart my time right now. Because maybe there was like something.
Time's out.
Well, in the beginning, maybe they needed to bring them something or fix something. And they needed their full amount of time. So they said, okay, start the clock now. And they'd start the clock, and then they would go for their 20 minutes. And that is something that I've always wanted to do. And
a timer?
No, I would like to be. Professional speaker.
Yes.
Yeah, and I am a professional speaker on YouTube, but I would like to do more talks at conventions and things, and they would be pre-planned, so that way, and I would know how many minutes I would be allowed. Just like when I spoke at the prayer breakfast, at the Interfaith Prayer Breakfast, they would tell me, Gina, you got 5 minutes, or you got 8 minutes, however many minutes. And I would put my phone on the stand with a countdown clock. So that way I would stay within my time, and I can do it. I could do it. And there's Dr. Ania on the stage, and Dr. Ania giving me a hug. That's her. Kimberly, that is the scientist lady. She's an MD, so she is a doctor. Kimberly Gadzoon, Raising the Standard of Obesity Care. She was fantastic. I'm going to try to see if I can get her to speak on our channel. And again, just our friends, King Darium and Jess and Jen. And I am going to be on the OAC. They interviewed me, and at some point it'll show up somewhere. I don't know exactly where, but I had to sign release papers and everything, and it was a lot of fun. Another dinner, I had chicken strips and stir-fried vegetables that you could make like a fajita with tortillas, but I'm kind of a tortilla snob, and I only like freshly made tortillas. So I didn't use a tortilla. So I just did the vegetables. I'd already eaten a little bit of the chicken, and then I realized, oh, I forgot to take a picture. And they had steak strips with it and corn on the cob. And then on the far right there, for dessert, they had churros. And they had caramel sauce, and they had chocolate sauce that you could put on it. And I put a little caramel sauce on it, and it was heaven. It was so delicious. And there is Christopher Durham with Jess. And this is Amy's Losing It. She chats a lot in our chat, and she's so much fun to have around.
I like the name of that channel.
Yeah, Amy's
Losing It. That's great.
Yeah, and she was a lot of fun. It was fun meeting her and giving her big hugs. We shared a lot of dinners together to get to know each other a little better. And this is April, and April lives in the same town as one of my besties that I went to junior high and high school with. And I said, oh, can we have our picture together? Because she said the town that they live in doesn't have a lot of people in it. And so she'd love to know my friend Charla. So I'm going to hook them together, and I bet they'll be new besties. And then when I went to the airport, I wore Julio's Right in the Tide t-shirt that's so soft. And if you go to his channel, he'll be able to tell you how you can purchase his t-shirts, and they are wonderful. And I was also going to show you guys, if you want to go to, they already announced where the next OAC convention is going to be. It's going to be in New Orleans in 2027. July 22nd to the 24th. So, and I already decided I'm going to go. I don't know if Jeff's going to go with me or not. He really missed me when he was home. So we'll see. But I will be connecting with people till midnight or after. So if he gets tired, he'll just go up to the room and just have to wait on me. So we'll see if he'll join me or not. I'm not sure. But I'm going. I'm positive. It's around my birthday. It'll just be my birthday present next year too. And we do have some merch too. We've got Anchor Moments RV merch. We've got regular Anchor Moments, and all of my t-shirts are also super soft. It says on the back, "Are you happy? Get anchored." And so if you're ever interested, just go to anchormoments.com. And then if you click shop, we've got t-shirts and lots of colors. Pink too, Mayor Mindy. Pink, lots of colors, lots of fun. And the first person that ever bought one of my shirts was Paula. And Paula, I've done 2 videos with her on my channel. She's my only Paula. So if you want to look her up, she's so precious. And one of the videos, the second video, she's actually wearing one of my Anchor Moments shirts, which I think is so cool. And that's Dr. Robin giving her talk where she inspired us, and a bunch of friends. We got Dennis in the far right there with Lorraine and King Darium, Michelle. I actually took this photo, and Mayor Mindy and Jess in the back.
That's why you're not in there.
That's why I'm not in it. I took it. And then there's me and Lorraine wearing our ocean blue sparkles and just having a ball. And you guys, I was so tired because I was pushing so hard to get my anchor room done. I had very little sleep every night before the convention. And then at the convention, I was up till between midnight and 2 a.m. Down in the atrium area, and got up at 7 so I could have breakfast with everybody. And when I came home, my Oura ring that my mom got me for Christmas said that I was 10 hours and 40 minutes in sleep debt. And it doesn't go any higher than that. That is at the very end of high for how tired I was. Yesterday, when I was, after I got home and after I did the live 15 minutes after walking into the house to do chapter 3 of Enough, I was writing on my answering comments to some of your comments on some of the videos, and I almost fell off my chair. I've never done that before, where I almost fell asleep at the computer. And so I took a few steps over, because I was in the living room at the time. I took a few steps over and passed out on the couch. I slept for 3 straight hours. The Energizer Bunny can run out of batteries, and I did. And should be my last slide. Is that my last? I think that's my last. That should be my last slide. All right, let's see what my shipmates have to say.
That you need to take your shot.
Oh, yes.
And we've been at this for an hour and 45 minutes so far.
Oh my gosh.
We're almost in 40 minutes.
All right, so we'll go real quick. We'll go, oh gosh.
Real quick.
Yeah. We got Chucky at the house.
Those timers you were talking about.
Okay. And Chalky wasn't sure if he's going to be able to do all this because he's had a long day, and we start at 1:15 in the morning today. Also, I'm too sick to take my shot
Aw.
tonight. The burping is affecting my recovery from pneumonia. Might be worth talking sometime about illness and our shots. Oh,
Wow,
that's a good
yeah.
idea.
Sorry.
And he's going to have to put up with the food chatter. No. And Vicky says, this is your birthday song. It isn't very long. Happy birthday, Miss Tina. Yay. And Vicky says, be sure to get your protein in. Absolutely. And she wishes she could go next year, go to the one in New Orleans. We're going to have so much fun.
You all look so happy.
Chucky says he only came in for a slice of my cake. And we really explained what the OAC, Obesity Action Alliance, or Obesity Action Coalition. Sorry about that. And Lynn says, this is my first live. Yay. And yay, thanks, Lynn. Your Mythbuster is going to show up in a day or two this week. Good. Vicky's going to go to New Orleans. Yay. You're going to love it, Vicky. So many hugs, so much love. It's going to just be always great. And maybe, Chalky, you can join us. New Orleans, a good time. Oh, she said, Jeannie, you're amazing. You make everyone feel special and valued. Oh, thank you. Your example brings tears to my eyes. I say to myself, why can't I be like that? Yes, you can. I feel very blessed that I was able to take the cruise and meet so many of you. Oh, that cruise was so fun, too. We are family. I got all my sisters and me. Absolutely. He's not heavy. He's my brother. Oh, she's full of good songs. And we got Pam in the house. And Vicky says, why are you not in your clean office? Oh, there's a reason for that. My office is clean, you guys. It's still just, it's sparkling clean. When I did a video in there showing everybody how clean it was, and then I did a help me pack for the OAC, the internet was a little fuzzy in there. So Jeff's going to have to play around to make sure the internet is perfect for doing lives. So he'll play around with that a little bit, and then we'll go right back to the anchor room because we can now because it's clean. But right now the best is in the.
And thank you for hitting like if you're hitting like.
Yes, thank you so much. And Pam says, see, no matter how old we are, we can still learn more about ourselves, and we can still change things in our lives too. I know I'm still learning too. Absolutely. We're going to learn right along with each other, Pam. And hey, and GLP-1 Teacher's Journey's in the house. Oh, Sandy. I think that's Sandy. She says, wasn't it neat to see Jamie Seltzer and talk with him? By the way, this is Sandra Code. I was Julio's twin wearing his shirts. Yes. And I was talking in front of a group, and she was part of that group, and so was Julio and someone else. And I said, yeah, I'm going to be starting an ADHD playlist. And tomorrow, one of my birthday presents is I'm taking a 6-week class that starts in every Tuesday at 9:00. We go, it's a class online, but through Zoom, and you're live with the instructor, and you can ask questions live and all of that. And I paid to take this class as a birthday present to myself, and it starts tomorrow morning. And I'm going to take pieces that I learned, and I'm going to be putting that on a playlist, because there are a lot of us, I think, not everybody, but I think there's a number of us who battle obesity who may have undiagnosed attention deficit disorder of some sort. But I think it's also like autism, there's a spectrum, and some have, I don't know, it's different degrees. And so some of us might just have a little bit, and some of us might have a lot. And I'm somewhere in the middle, I think. And and when I mentioned that in the circle, and I said, it's not diagnosed, but there's a possibility I might have ADD. And then everybody laughed, including Sandra. And Sandra said, I was a special ed teacher. Gina, you have ADD. That's my professional opinion. And Julio's like, yeah, you got it. And everyone else in the church was like, oh, yeah, we've watched your show. We think you have it. Like, oh, gosh. Hey, we got the One Blessed Traveler's here. Oh, I love you. And Jockey says, brilliant, superpower. Yeah, and there's superpowers, too, with ADD, you know? And so that's a fun laugh, and happy birthday. Jeff gave me tickets to a plane ticket. and paid for my convention. Though at least I had a free hotel room, but it still was about $1,000 for me to go. So that was a big birthday present. And we got traveling tea in the house. Vicki says, about how many people you say attended? That's a good question. If anyone, tea knows good. About 450 people.
Wow.
And Pam says, after I heard you talk about this from yesterday's live, it resonated with me so much. I make friends at most places. Yes, you do. I get distracted. I procrastinate when someone isn't counting on me. And I'm like, yep. And Vicki says, Lorraine is a hoot and a half. Oh my gosh, she is so funny. And towards the end there, when we were hanging out in the after hours, after parties, she started teasing me. And someone turned to look at her and then looked at me to see like if it hurt my feelings. And I laughed and I said, Lorraine's my sister. She's my real sister. That's what a sister would do. And Julio started it. Julio said something and it had a little sting to it. And I looked at it and they looked at me and I'm like, yeah, he's my baby brother. That's what your snotty baby brother would do. So we were all real comfortable with each other, let me tell you. And we just roared. We had so much fun. And Pam says, I like organization, but I'm not the best at getting organized and staying organized. Jeff's kind of that way too. He can do it and he's really good at it, but he lets things slide too. And Vicki says, do you all face paint? I did for a while. And Pam says, and I too got good grades in school, earned a master's degree, me too, and teaching credentials, but reading's always been a struggle. I have to read things more than once, write notes and highlight, and I do better when I have an audiobook too. Yeah. Exactly, Pam. And that's what it's like for me. I still got A's in school and A's in college, and I got my master's degree, but I had to study extra hard. And it was hard for me reading chapter 3 of Enough and not having a highlighter. So it made it a little tougher for me to have to do my live so quick when I didn't highlight it first. And I listened to it. I have to do all of that to really understand. But then I do understand. It's just a little extra work. And she's giving me the money sign. Not sure. That's so sweet. Hi, Gina. Just bought your book. Oh, thank you so much, Terry. Finding Joy, Anchor Moments, Hope, Healing, and Forgiveness. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And it won't take you too long to read. I told Julio, because Julio says he's not a big fan of reading either. And I said, I wrote this book for people who don't like to read, but could really use the message. And I said, you put it in your bathroom, 1 week's worth of poops, and you'll have read the whole thing. So I promise you can finish it in an afternoon easily. The room looks so amazing. Love the flooring too. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Mary gave me jewels and said, stay hydrated. Thank you, Mary. And I do need to do that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I didn't realize those were coming. I had so much to share today. I wasn't watching my chat very good. Thank you so much, Mary. I would have done yours first. And Laura says hi to the Shipmates. Yay. And you have weights. Yep. Oh, and drink that water. Absolutely. And Mary says, God always provides. He does. And if you really listen and follow the signs, I'm telling you, it's amazing. And that's what anchor moments are. And I believe in a loving God who loves everyone, period. Everyone. There was a young woman and her wife who had dinner with us, and she said she really appreciated me, and she appreciated how I was not judgmental. And I was sitting across from her at the table, and I put my napkin down, and I walked back over to her, and I gave her a real big hug. It was so sweet. And I do believe we have a loving God. He loves everyone, absolutely everyone. Oh, anyway, and God does provide. It's pretty amazing. And Vicki says, never heard of David Bars. Me neither. I never heard of them until I went to Kirsten's house. And boy, that was so helpful. Yep, and King Darian was amazing. And Mounjaro Journey with Pam says, oh, I like those David bars too. And I saw them on TikTok shop first, and now I'm seeing them in stores. Yeah, so today I got the chocolate chip cookie dough one at Walmart, and it was fantastic. And the chocolate peanut butter one was the one that Kirsten gave me. That was fantastic. They had some other flavors at convention for free that they were giving them away. But I don't like I don't like anything that's sugar-free that's chocolate, because I think it has like a bitter taste. So I didn't like any of the chocolate ones other than chocolate chip in the cookie dough, and the peanut butter chocolate chunk were fantastic. And I didn't really care for the cake one, but other people might really like the cake one. But those two were phenomenal. And they are going to be a staple in my house from now on, because I love, love, love those two. And she says, I like the chocolate chip. Oh, I've not tried the blueberry. So maybe I could try, maybe I would like the blueberry. And Barb is a wealth of information. She's amazing. Nikki's getting Zeppy says, Gina's going to make me cry again. What you and Barb did for each other at the conference was so sweet. I know, we're besties. I love her. Face blue spam shape. I'm not sure. And Nikki says, happy birthday. Thank you. Happy 60th birthday. I know. I can't believe it. In a few hours,
Wait,
I'm going to be 60.
65?
No. I'm still 59 for 5 more hours.
Well, 60 is the new
Thanks,
50.
Mary. Wish me a happy 60 is the new 50. Oh, Pam gave me a birthday present. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Pam. Happiest birthday, Gina. May this year be filled with abundance. I can't believe I didn't see these super chats. Usually, if you get a super chat, you let them.
It pops up on the top usually.
I know. Did you see it pop up on the top? I didn't
No.
notice it. But thank you so much, Pam. That's a great birthday present. Aw. And people are saying, hey, we enjoy getting those Costco refunds too. I know. It's amazing. And they already give you good prices, and then you get that refund, but we use that refund for pay it forward things. And it's a lot of fun to do surprise pay it forward things. And everyone's saying hey to each other, and hi to Grant, who we love. And Amy Luzenet's in the house. I got a picture of me and you, Amy. So if you're just catching now, watch it on replay, and you'll see you made the list. It was so much fun hanging out with you.
544.
Yep. God thing right there, Gina. We love Barb. Oh, I know. We do love Barb. And God was trying to take care of her. 11 is the angel number 2. Yep. And Lynn Becker said, Barb told me at the conference about your generosity. That was so incredibly sweet of you, Gina. And thank you for your generosity, Lynn. I really needed those water bottles. Thank you so much. We just got to take care of each other. And we got Shorty in the house. And Grant says, loving these pictures I've been seeing. So glad you got this birthday present from Jeff. It was a fabulous birthday present, life-changing birthday present. Hi, Amy. It was fun seeing you in Twan's live this weekend. Oh, good. Yay. And everyone's saying hey. And Dana's Dose says, such a sweet story. Thanks for sharing. You're welcome. It's extra special having friends who are true angels and blessing to us too. I know, isn't it? And Shorty Lynn, I'm not sure. And Dawn says, Gina, I love that decluttering your room was a blessing on so many levels for not just you and Jeff, but also others as well. So sweet of you to love Barb with your bonus finds. Truly feel your heart. Oh, thank you. And I found some different presents that I'm saving for friends. Don't tell Mayor Mindy. She probably won't make it this far in the video. But there's a special present for her when we sleep on her driveway again this March. That's just special for her. It was the perfect gift. And it was in all my different piles of things. But
don't tell everybody. Just tell the internet.
I didn't say what it is, but I do have something for her this March. Lady in the Kelly green dress is Dr. Kimberly Kadzoon, MD. Thank you, King Darian. And King Darian, now that we text each other, if you're able to figure out how I can contact her, That'd be fantastic. So I'd love to see if I could have her on my show next week. And I'd do it any day of the week if she couldn't do Sunday. And Lynn says, hi, Traveling Tea and Faithful. Everyone's saying, hey. Oh, so nice. We have Darium in the house and Amy losing it, saying hey to Darium too. We had so much fun. And Amy says, we absolutely got our value for our conference fee and just the food alone. The education we received was priceless. That is so true, Amy. King Darium says, I was thinking the same thing, Amy loses it. The cost of registration would not fully cover the cost of the food alone. I know. I mean, we had 3 days worth of breakfast, we had lunches, we had dinners, and it was good. I mean, you couldn't. You absolutely couldn't just in the food. You couldn't go out to eat for those prices. And Mindy says, hey, fam, joining late. I fell asleep on the couch. I'm tired from all the fun I had. Hey, I showed the picture of I used the picture of, let's see, how do you get that add to stage?
How do you get
so Mayor Mindy's like the Energizer Bunny right now, too. All right, and then remove. See, I'm getting better. Oh, Traveling Tea says, one of the OAC board members told me the cost of the food. I won't repeat it. Agreed. We got to steal. Yeah. One board member said, dinner was like the price of entrance, just one of those meals. It was crazy, but it was really good. And it was all you cared to eat because it was buffet style. Uh-oh. What did I do?
I don't know. Wait. You went down too far?
I went down too far. It jumped.
It jumped.
Mm-hmm.
Did it?
Oh, wait. I got some Jules. We can do the well, Jules bumps everybody else. If you do that, you should have a thing here. Oh, I got a high five from Bernice. 100 Jules high five. Yay. Thank you, Bernice. I appreciate that. It's a great birthday present. Oh, where do you think? I don't think I did.
No.
Where do you think I am?
I think you're still up.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Well, you were only on for...
I know. And I got such good shipmates. Oh, wait. I'll start here with carrying others. I'd hate if I missed. Okay. We did that one. Okay. So we're probably about... I don't remember carrying others and me.
Yeah.
Because that's another Terry. Thank you, Terry. Good to see you. And Dana's Dose says, such a sweet story. Thanks for sharing. It's extra special having friends who are two blessings. Yep,
Shorty then. Okay. Click on that.
Oh, I did that one. La, 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 la. Yep.
Got that one. Don't do that again.
I know, I'm so sorry.
New comments and went all the way to the very bottom. Yeah, okay, right about there.
Summon the mayor, and the mayor appears to check on her constituency. Hello there, Mayor Mindy. Oh, I love that. Yeah, and thank goodness for the sponsors. It really made a difference. And they were able to give some scholarships, you guys, and you can apply for those scholarships starting April 1st.
That's not an April Fool's Day.
And that's not an April Fool's Day. Dr. Pashby's presentation from last year. Oh, thank you. It was so good, you guys. So Mayor Mindy's got the link there. Super, super good. I never wear shorts or sleeveless shirts. I know. And you're thin. You're so thin now. You're at your goal weight. It's time to get yourself some shorts and sleeveless shirts. I know we're enjoying the stories, but please consider hitting the like button and verifying that you subscribe. Thanks so much. I'm getting close to having 5,000 subscribers, you guys. I'm at 4,700. I'm 300 away. Wouldn't that be a fun birthday present to hit 5,000 this week? That would be so amazing. Pammy in pajamas. Yep, we love her. Thank you, Mindy, for her link. She's going to save it for later. Grant smashed the like. Thank you. It's the vivacious Lynn Becker. Oh, and she is styling. She has the most beautiful clothes. I love seeing what she's going to show up in. And on the cruise, the first cruise, her and her husband renewed their wedding vows in front of all of us. It was so beautiful. It's my favorite moment of the first cruise we did with them. I have some new jammies too for the fall, tan with pumpkins and leaves. All right, Pam. And thanks for the link. Why am I in that photo? And she's giving me I don't know. I'm not sure which one, but we love you. Because you're part of the entourage, Mayor Mindy. Absolutely. You're so sweet, Darian. It was great meeting you in person. Yeah, it was so much fun hanging out with Darian. Today is the first day I'm wearing shorts, but they are to my knees, and I still see the inner knee fat pocket. I'm not confident to wear them out yet. I understand. I've been that way for years. But Robin thinks we should relax and just be ourselves and not worry about it. And King Darium says, it was amazing meeting you and your amazing husband, Lynn. He is a riot. Jay is really cool, but so wise. Thank you, too, for sharing and inspiring me. Work hard, but live, too. And you are the best. I needed to hear this today. Thank you, Stephen from DC. He was really cool. And Linda Bookmiller says, very inspiring, Gina. Thank you. This is so special to hear this, too. Wow. And everyone's saying hi. Obesogenic. Those are all great books. I like Enough, the Fat, Sugar, Salt, and Weightless. Yeah, Weightless is really good too. It was underneath a few more books. Books and behavioral modification are never going to be enough when you have the disease of obesity. You can't fight your biology. You have to use meds to do that. But it's helpful to learn some things to do coincide with the meds. I find it helpful. And Lynn says, I'm going to be filming my second Downsized Dish interview with Lorraine tomorrow. Oh, good. That'll be so fun. And you're always welcome to do one on my show, too, if you'd like. You and Jay would be just a hoot. This summer is first time I bought shorts in 20 years. Yay! I'm so glad you did, Linda. And you're at your goal weight. You looked fantastic when I saw you on the cruise. And Pam says, true, Amy, GLP-1 and eat well, all those things, support, mental health, therapy when needed. It's such a combination of tools for sure. Yep. There's a lot of tools that you can use, and you use the ones in the toolbox that work best for you. And yep, you use the tools you need in this journey. Grant and I agree. Yeah, and Linda Bookmiller says she feels cooler anyway in shorts. Hello, well, after 20 years, that's a great step. Yep. And Dawn says, mindset is so underrated and it's so very important. Sometimes it takes that deep dive to see things that we didn't realize influence our choices. Absolutely. This is such great news to have them both. And I heard you talk about Dr. Ania doing some other studies on other meds too. Yes, she's been working on that. When Life Happens, Rachel Goldman, PhD. That's our next book. Dr. Ania is currently heading the retatrutide trial. She's amazing. I don't know if she's accepting more patients for that or not. Maybe. They do a lot of CBT work with addictions as well. And thank you for reminding everyone to hit the like. Yes, I don't hear that much about mindset in our groups. I have a mindset coach and some go to therapy. I think it's great to consider therapy for food disorders too. Many of us fight that battle. Yep. And that's why we'll be doing some books in that area. Absolutely. Have you considered having Jeff do the voice on your book? Oh, very interesting. Nope, it's going to be me because it's my voice and my story. And I personally, when I listen to an audio book, I want it to be the author. I want to hear their voice when they share it. And sometimes I find it discerning when it's a female voice doing the male voice or a male voice doing the female voice, and it's not the author. I'm like, I just wish I could hear the author. Jeff, thank you for being brave and letting Gina share your mental health struggles. I too struggled in the past. CBT also helped, and recently it helped me with my binge eating disorder. Yeah, cognitive behavioral therapy is amazing, and it made a big difference for Jeff. Your book is your testimony. Yep, it is. So many people have had a dark passenger, and we can remember to check on others, be sure they're doing okay. Absolutely. Pammy, I've been working with Dr. Joy Bracey for mindset. She does a lot of shorts online about self-love. Oh, good. Maybe sometime I'll be able to have her on my show. Thanks for the heads up, Dawn. Lynn says, my husband really is terrific. I'm very blessed. Yes, you are. Jay is fantastic. And Dana's Dose says, you are so inspiring, Gina. This is what you're meant to do. Oh, thank you so much, Dana's Dose. Amen, Dana, says Grant. Yes, I think BE disorder has affected so many more of us, even if we didn't realize that was what was going on. I'm going to order your book. Oh, thank you so much, Dana's Dose. I appreciate that. Yes, amen, Dana. Darian, what an amazing friend you are. I hope we can find your cup. I hope we can fill your cup too, since you fill up ours. I hope so for that too, King Darian, because you really do make a difference in our community. Wow, what a cool outfit. She went all out. You look great too, Gina. Oh, thank you. Wow, Stephen, I have chills hearing this. I know, it was so amazing when he said he's been watching me from the UK. Oh, this is so special. Stephen equals the power of one. Yes, he does. And Mindy says, Dr. Kimberly Gadzoon was the lady in green. She spoke on raising the standard of obesity care. She was great. Jess and Jenna are the sweetest. They are so sweet. Jess and Jen look very familiar too. They've been on the Downsize at Sea cruises, both of them. And they also did the Florida meetup that we did that Barb helped me host, which was really fun. TT Trucker and Traces of Twan's Life. And wow, Nancy Germain and our Disney Princess Barb. Yep. So many fun people I got to hug and take pictures with. Gina, you look great in the swimsuit. Yes. Thanks, PM. You look adorable in your swimsuit. Thanks, Mindy. And you know, I didn't believe Barb at first. And then I'm like, oh, all right. Oh, thanks, Linda Bookmiller. I appreciate that. I heard women have bigger arms to keep babies warm. Oh, I like that. My grandmother said, show it while you're young. Oh my gosh. Dawn says, Barb's right. You look great in your suit. Thank you. Michelle Frank is Frankly Michelle. Yep, that's her. I'm not sure what Valerie Screen's name is, but her name is Valerie Scruggs. Not sure her YouTube handle, but she's really super nice. And Linda says, I was going to say, I think she uses her real name. She may. She may. Rhonda's YouTube channel is great. Not about weight loss, but it's fantastic. Hey, I got Logan in the house. And he says, guess what? What, Logan? And thank you for sharing Rhonda's YouTube handle. Find that, you guys. Her videos are fantastic. They're about finding joy in life, even if you battle depression. Instagram has some conventions. Oh, Instagram has some additional pics from the convention. Well, we're going to have to look. It was great to see you at the conference, T. It was so fun to see them. Who here believes that Gina could do a 5-minute speech in 5 minutes only? I can, but I had to go. I did Toastmasters. Help me with that. And I have done it. I have done it.
Not lately.
Not lately. Hey. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. 100 joules and a high five. Thank you, Bernice. Appreciate that. And it's my birthday tomorrow. Good night, all. It's too late. Catch the rest tomorrow. Okie doke. Pep with Pam's in the house too, our other PM. I'd love to be in the Reddit trial. I know, me too. And Pep with Pam says, I got diagnosed with ADHD when I was 40. Yeah, I was in my 50s when my girlfriends thought, hey, Gina, you should look into that. 50s. I'm still in my 50s till tomorrow. There you go. I'm definitely needing God to lead me right now. My hubby passed last Monday. Oh, no. On 7/20/26 after being sick and hospitalized since June 25th. Oh, I am so sorry, Pep with Pam. I will be giving you a lot of prayers before I go to bed. That's my biggest fear, is losing Jeff. That is really rough. Sorry about that. You don't look 60, you look great. Thanks, Pam. Amy Loses It says, my deepest condolences to you. I'm so sorry you suffered that loss. Yeah. She says, thank you. Everyone is telling her. And Peppa Pam says, it's just unreal. Yeah, it's the hardest thing. Sweet dreams, everyone. Bye until next time. Okay, and we're here for you, Pam. Good night, everybody. Hey, and it made it to the end. All right, and my shot, I'm going to do it in my arm since I talked about showing my arms. Here we go, though I am wearing my convention t-shirt today. And I'll let Jeff just keep showing the chat things while I clean off my arm here. And this is my 133rd shot. Oh my gosh. Move the cap, gray cap first. Then you get to twist. This is a 10 milligram, Jeff. I didn't twist it yet.
Well, good.
I need a 15.
This was in the door.
Well, I need a 15. The 10's not going to do the trick. Sorry about that. And traveling T, are the OAC pics from the downsized or from the OAC directly? I don't know. I know that Lorraine on her Facebook page, she shared pictures, and that's where I nabbed the picture of me and her with the blue sparkly arms and me with the blue sparkly face. The OAC took a ton of pictures, and then they shared them at the end on the big screen. And it was so fun seeing the pictures that they took and seeing our friends in those pictures. And I was in a few of them too, and it was really fun. And Jeff is finding a 15 milligram shot for me. There's some in the back.
Yeah.
But I definitely do not want to do a 10. I have a couple of 10s that I didn't use when I bumped up to 12 and a half, but I have no 12 and a halves in the fridge because I make sure I used every last 12 and a half before I started my 15. I can't even imagine sending you love and prayer. Yeah, that is the hardest thing when we lose our loved ones and we have to wait until we're in heaven with them to see them. Oh, this is going to be a cold one.
Sorry.
All right, I'll go like this. Try to warm it up a little bit. When it's cold, you can feel just a little bit of a sting, but if it's warm, you don't feel anything. All right, now this is a 15 for real, 15 milligrams. I'm removing the very cold gray cap.
Good thing you checked.
And yeah, I am too. I'm glad I checked. And then I'm going to twist it from lock to unlock. And wow, the plastic is cold. Putting the plastic on. I haven't done a cold shot in ages because I learned it's better warm, but that's okay. Here we go. There's the 2 clicks. Yeah, it does. It does have a little sting when it's cold, you guys. If you ever give yourself your shot and you go, oh my gosh, it stings. Gina says it doesn't hurt, but it hurts a little bit. Make sure you have it room temperature. You keep it in the refrigerator and then you take it out about 30 minutes before you give it to yourself, and then you can't feel it. It's easy peasy. But when it's ice cold, there is a little sting because the needle's cold and the juice in there is cold. Even having thinner arms, the loose skin hangs and makes them look older than I am. Reminds me of my great grandma. I know, me too. I'm just going to work on getting over it and going, that's all right. At least I can hug people. At least they work. And I'm going to try pulling out some of those sleeveless things. All right, my friends, I've kept you for a long time. I love you. You are enough. Jeff's going to pass out. This is a long time for an introvert to sit next to me. Oh my gosh. But I love you guys. There more videos are going to be coming down because I did tape a lot of wonderful people on this trip. And you're going to be seeing we're going to have some famous guests too coming up. I'm so excited. People that were famous enough to be on Oprah Winfrey's show are going to be a guest on my show. I can't believe it. So really good experts. I think you're going to enjoy it. All right. Hold on to your anchor moments, friends, and make it a great day. I love you guys. Mwah. Bye-bye.